Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you? I hope you'd be fine. This is exercise 3B of chapter number 3. Think New Syllabus Mathematics Book 1. We have already done the previous questions earlier. So now let's move to question number 8, which is related to the convergence of one unit to the other. And if you people remember that we have done these type of questions in the earlier classes, that is in grade 4 and grade 5 a lot of times. So it's gonna be just a revision for you. Let's start from part A, which says express each of the following lengths in the stated unit. So we are provided with the quantities in certain units and we have to convert it into some other units. For this, let us first write down some of the conversions over here, since the quantities involves kilometers, meters, centimeters, and millimeters. So we can say that 1 kilometer equals to 1,000 meters, 1 meter equals to 100 centimeters, 1 centimeter equals to 10 millimeters. Okay, this is the conversion that you have to use. So if we are provided with the quantities in kilometers and we have to convert it into millimeters, so we are going to multiply it with 1,000. That's all. Whenever we will convert the greater quantity into a smaller, greater unit into a smaller, we will multiply, okay, with the conversion rate. Since it's 0.123 kilometers and we have to convert it into meters. So we are going from the greater to the smaller. We will multiply it by 1,000. That's all. And upon multiplication, we have already learned that whenever we are going to multiply any number by 1,000, the decimal will move 3 places forwards and it would be 1, 2, 3. That is 123 because we have 3 decimal places. So it will move 3 places forward and the answer would be 123 meters. Okay, then we have 83 meters and we have to convert it into centimeters. And we know that 1 meter equals to 100 centimeters. So this time we are going to multiply it by 100. So if we multiply any whole number by 100, what do? We simply add 2 zeros into it. So it becomes 8,300. That's all. Next, we have 0.1556 centimeters in millimeters. This time we have to convert a decimal from centimeters to meters, millimeters. And we know that 1 centimeter equals to 10 millimeters. So we will simply multiply 0.1556 with a 10 and the decimal will move 1 place forward. It becomes 1.556 millimeters, right? Now, we have learned how to convert a greater quantity into a smaller one. In the next 3 parts, we have to do the reverse. So in case of doing reverse, the conversion rate would also be reversed. That is, now we are going to divide with the conversion rate. Since we have to convert 1037 centimeters, not in millimeters anymore, but to the previous unit, that is in meters. So what are we going to do? We are going to divide it with the conversion rate between centimeters and meters. We know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeters. It means 1037 centimeters is equals to 1037 upon 100 meters. You see? Now this time, if we would be provided with meters and we have to convert it into centimeters, we'll multiply it with 100. But if we have to convert centimeters into meters, then we are going to divide it. So upon division, what will happen whenever we divide a whole number with 100? We cut the 2 zeros. The decimal will now move backwards. So here comes before 7 and then before 3. And it becomes 10.37 meters. Right? Next, we have 503 meters. And now we have to convert it back to kilometers. We know that 1 kilometer is equals to 1,000 meters. So if we have to convert meters into kilometers, we will divide it. It becomes 503 divided by 1,000. Now we are going to cut the 3 zeros. Decimal will move 1, 2, and 3. It comes over here and it becomes 0.503. This would be the answer. Next, we have 2.5 millimeters and we have to convert it back to centimeters. So we'll do the same. 2.5 divided by 10. Why? Because 1 centimeters equals to 10 millimeters. So 1 millimeters equals to 1 upon 10 centimeters. So upon dividing any number, having decimal with 10, decimal will further move backwards and it would be 0.25. So let's place a 0 before decimal and it becomes 0.25 centimeters. That's all. So what are we doing? We simply need to know the conversion rates between kilometers to meters, meters to centimeters, centimeters to millimeters. And after that, what do we need to do? We simply have to figure out that are we converting the greater quantity into smaller or the smaller unit into the greater? So upon moving from greater to smaller, we are going to multiply, and on vice versa, we are going to divide. Let's do question number 12, which is of the same sort from this exercise. Okay, so this is question number 12, which says express each of the following in this stated unit. Now we are provided with 6.15 meters and we have to convert it into meters and centimeters. Students, always remember, whenever you have a number in decimal with a unit and you have to convert it into some other unit in splitted form, which involves meters and centimeters. Okay. So what actually you have to do, you just have to keep the whole number into meters and this one into centimeters. That's all. So what are we going to do? We will split it into 2 points. 6.15 meters is equals to 6 meters plus 0.15 meters, right? So whatever whole number we have, we're not going to change it. It will remain as it is. But for 0.15 meters, we will convert it into centimeters. So what are we going to do? We will only convert the decimal part into the smaller unit, okay? And keep the whole part into the same unit, since we have to convert 6.15 meters in meters and centimeters, okay? So when we are going to convert 0.15 meters into centimeters, it would be 0.15 into 100, because we know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeters, right? So we'll multiply it by 100 and then we'll move decimal 2 places forwards and it would become 15. So it means we will have 6 meters plus 15 centimeters. Okay? We can say that 6.15 meters equals to 6 meters and 15 centimeters. Let's talk about the second one, which is 6 kilometers, 55 meters in kilometers. Now we have to do the reverse. We are provided with quantities in two different units, 6 kilometers and 55 meters, and we have to keep it in kilometers. So what are we going to do? We will keep 6 kilometers as it is, and then we will only convert 55 meters into kilometers, because we have to convert it back to kilometers as a whole. So since 6 kilometers is already in kilometers, so we need not to change it anymore. We will simply do something with 55 meters. How can we convert meter into kilometers? We know the conversion, 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meters. So it means 55 meters would be 55 upon 1000 kilometers. Okay. Meters is smaller and kilometers is greater. We are moving from smaller to greater, therefore we are dividing it. So we are going to cut the 2 zeros and the 3 zeros, and the decimal will move 1, 2, 3 places backwards. Here we do not have any digit, so we are going to put decimal over here. It becomes 0.055. That is 0.055. So it becomes 6 kilometers plus 0.055 kilometers. Now both of the quantities are kilometers, so we can add them up and it becomes 6.055 kilometers. That's all. You see how easy it is. Next we have again the decimal and we have to convert it into millimeters. So 54.44 meters, and we have to convert it into millimeters. So there's a centimeter in between meters and millimeters. Doesn't matter. First we are going to convert it into centimeters and then we are going to convert it into millimeters. So we know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeters. To convert it into centimeters, first we are going to multiply it with 100. Upon multiplication, decimal will move 2 places forwards and it turns out to be a whole number, 5444 centimeters. But then we have to convert it into millimeters as well. So what are we going to do? We will further multiply it with 10, because 1 centimeters is equals to 10 millimeters. So upon multiplying it with 10, we know that when we multiply a whole number by 10, we add a 0 into the final answer. So it becomes 54,440 millimeters. You see, or you can do one more thing. Since we know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeters, 1 centimeter equals to 10 millimeters. So we can also conclude from these two conversions that 1 meter is equals to 1,000 millimeters. So we can directly multiply 54.44 with 1,000 to convert it into millimeters without even converting it into centimeters. And in a single step, we are going to get 54,440 millimeters. You see? Next one is 462.23 centimeters in kilometers. Now we know again that between kilometers and centimeters we have a meter. So first we are going to convert it into meters. We know there is a conversion rate of 100. So upon converting it from centimeters to meters, we are going backwards. We will divide it with 100. Okay. So it will convert into meters. And when we will divide it with 100, decimal will move 2 places backwards. It becomes 4.6223 meters. But we have to convert it into kilometers. So what are we going to do next? We will now convert 4.6223 meters into kilometers by dividing it with 1,000, because between a meter and a kilometer, there is a difference of 1,000. So since we do not have so many decimal places out there, so we'll move 1, 2, 3 over here. Decimal will come. And the answer would be 0.0046223 kilometers. You see? Or we can directly convert centimeters into kilometers, because we know that 1 kilometer is equals to 1,000 meters. 1 meter to 100 centimeters. So the conversion between kilometers to centimeter is of 100,000. That is a lakh. There are 5 zeros. So if we need to convert kilometers into centimeters, we will multiply it by 100,000. And if we need to convert centimeters into kilometers, we will divide it by 100,000. Okay. For a single step answer, we have to divide it by 100,000. That's all. Now the next question is 89 centimeters. We are provided with 89 centimeters and we have to convert it in meters. So this time again we have two units, 89 centimeters and 6 millimeters, and we have to convert it into meters. So we know that both of them have different rates. From centimeters we will divide. So we can do over here that 89 centimeters to meters is simple. 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeters, so we will divide it by 100. But when we talk about 6 millimeters, so we know that there is one more conversion. So we can say that we will divide it by 1,000, because 1 meter is equals to 1,000 millimeters. So 1 millimeter is equals to 1 upon 1,000 meters. Upon dividing it, we are going to get 0.89 plus 0.006. And upon adding the two, we are going to get 0.896. We have already learned how to add up the decimals, how to divide the numbers by 100 and 1,000. So we need not to repeat that. Okay. Now let's move to the next question, where we have to convert kilograms into kilograms and grams. So again, we are going to do the same thing as we did in part A. That is, we keep the whole part as it is. That is 9 would remain into kilograms, but we are going to convert 0.123 into grams. That's all. So, the unit of this one would be meters. Next, we have the next question, which is 9.123 kilograms is basically 9 kilograms and 0.123 kilograms. Okay, so the whole part would remain as it is, 9 kilograms. And for 0.123, we will convert it into grams. We know that 1 kilogram is equals to 1,000 grams. So we will multiply 0.123 by 1,000. And it becomes, the decimal will move 3 places forwards and becomes 123 grams. Okay. And next we have 10 kilograms, 365 grams in kilograms. So we are provided with kilograms and grams, and we have to convert it into only grams. So this time what are we going to do? We will keep the kilograms as it is, and we will convert 365 grams into kilograms. So it would be 10 kilograms. And how can we convert grams into kilograms? By dividing it by 1000. So 365 upon 1000. So it will also turn into kilograms from grams. Cutting the 3 zeros, decimal will move 3 places backwards, and it becomes 10 kilograms and 0.365 kilograms. Upon adding the 2, we will get 10.365 kilograms. That's all. In the next part, we have 42 kilograms, 3 grams, and we have to convert it into grams. So what are we going to do? This time we will keep the grams into grams because grams and grams are equal. We don't need to change 3 grams into any other unit. But we are going to convert 42 kilograms into grams by multiplying it by 1000. Why? Because 1 kilogram is equals to 1000 grams. So 42 kilograms is equals to 42 multiplied by 1000 grams. And then we have plus 3 grams. So it becomes 42,000 plus 3, which equals to 42003 grams. It means there are 42,003 grams in 42 kilograms and 3 grams. So here we have completed question number 8 and 12, which are of the same sort. Inshallah, we'll do more in the next video. Until then, take care. Do subscribe to my channel if you are new. Don't forget to share it with your friends. Allah Hafiz.